and welcome to the Smoke Room. This is Smokey, and this is episode 5, y'all. I cannot believe it. We got 5 episodes out already in this season. Hallelujah! Finally, last season we only got like 3 episodes out in about a year and a half, I think, and I already cranked out 5 episodes in less than 3 months. I'm officially back at the Smoke Room. I'm gonna call it now. But I got a new guest here. I ain't never met him before. This is my first time. I talked to him earlier. But introduce yourself to these people.
You know who it is. It's M Accuracy from COH, ECF's Vinny Spirelli, PCW's Mo Houston, and RCW's Steve Nemesis.
Well, you told me earlier that you got a different call for different leagues. You never use the same person twice. I mean, same person in the same league. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. But what is your inspiration behind that? What made you think like that?
Well, here's the thing. I've noticed you were talking earlier about a guy by the name of Danny Jackpot and how he's like literally everywhere. Now, I don't mind playing a character in 2 different promotions, but after a while, that character is just going to become completely oversaturated. If you've got like, I don't know, 10 different colleagues where you got the same character in 10 different colleagues, there's bound to be somebody who's watching those colleagues and thinking to themselves that this is way too much, and the character becomes completely stale. And not only that, there's more of an aura to the character if it's more of an exclusive to one promotion. So, to give you an example, M Accuracy. He's never really done anything outside of COH because I feel like that character is more exclusive and it becomes more of a quote-unquote commodity to watch COH for. So if you like the character, you got to watch COH in order to see that character. And it's not going to be a character that you're going to get bored with because he's completely all over the place and you're just seeing way too much of him.
You already been in COH, you've been RCW. Is there any league that you want to join, but you haven't had an opportunity to yet?
Well, I applied for a company that you're actually in, which is DCA. Applied, like, I'm not even joking. I sent a message maybe around May of 2016, and I probably have the date wrong. The guy didn't get back to me till like months later and saying, I'm sorry for the delay. Just send me your call, see what you want me to do. Gave him my cause, see which one he wanted. He wanted the Steve Nemesis character. And so the last time I got in contact with the owner was in like December. And he said, I will let you know as soon as one of the CPV names was to happen of what we're going to do at you. And here we are in June of 2017. He still hasn't gotten back to me. So my only assumption is either A, he completely forgot, B, he doesn't give a shit about the character anymore, or C, he just doesn't have any interest in bringing me. So that was a company I was interested in. Other than that, there's not really I guess you could say I don't go looking too deep.
Yeah, but can I interject real quick? Personally, I'm no D-Wall. I'm no DCA. I'm in there. I'm in the league, and I know him, and he probably forgot. That's probably what happened because he got so much going on. He got to make all these storylines and because I hardly ever get a hold of him. You can have Dave freaking knows, but he can't talk right now because he's on the other side. But anyway, all I can tell you is from my experience with him that you gotta be patient, and you can't just you gotta keep at him because he'll forget, and that's the reason why. Cause me, I got an Xbox One. I don't got PS4. And I can't create Smokey for him. So I have to rely on him to create Smokey on that system. So I have to keep at him about tires because I'm a tire whore. I'd be happy to admit it. I make tires. I'm good at it. and I have to rely on him and his skills to make my guy look good and depend on him. And he does it every time he delivers because I keep at him. And he respects me for that because he knows I'm going to want this at this time, and he has to get it done. And he don't argue with me about it. But I think if you ask, if I told him one time, he would consider staying, especially for that pure championship tournament that's going on right now. Inter-brand league.
Maybe, but like I said, if he's too busy, then I'm not going to go ahead and bother the guy because obviously he's got too much on his plate, especially over something as what we're supposed to be calling a hobby. So
yeah. You know what though? I believe once he's going to listen to this interview because he listens to my show, and if he listens to the show and don't call you, then you got your answer. How about that? That's
I guess, yeah. Like I said, I don't know the guy. I'm not judging the guy. If he's got stuff on his plate, I'm not going to push him to put me on the show.
We'll just move on. We'll just move on. So, we don't need to have to talk about it. But yeah, I remember that other question, though. I finally got it back in my head. But I was saying that it's about time I get to ask this question. That since you've been around in college since 2008, and I've been in 2007, it's very rarely I can ask this question, so I'm going to ask it. What is the difference between call then and call now?
You're talking two completely different universes here because and again, I don't even know where your universe is because I've only gotten a small tidbit of it. When I started, everybody was a complete ripoff. Like you basically joined a promotion and said, okay, who do you want to be? Do you want to be Christian? Do you want to be AJ Styles? Do you want to be Kane? Do you want to be The Undertaker? That's how it was for me when I got it. And then eventually you evolved and you tried to come up with your own gimmick. And this is going back 2008 when I joined a company called YTCW, where I was just basically a Christian clone that eventually evolved into a Shawn Michaels clone. And now it's a little bit more different. Now you kind of like try to come up with something that's a little bit more of your own, that's maybe inspired off of a gimmick you like in the real wrestling world, but that's beyond the point. So, like I said, I think now, in my opinion, if you're asking me, I like it better now because there's more identity and it's less embarrassing for guys who are trying to do better with their promo skills, as opposed to back then where you're just trying to be another wrestler. You're trying to be Samoa Joe. You're trying to be Kane. You're trying to be Ric Flair. It's like, no, now you're trying to be a completely different character that if you brought it into the real wrestling world, it may actually hold up.
There are a lot more original calls now than there used to be, because whenever I started, there weren't hardly none. It was hard to be accepted in call if it was original, because there was more fantasy, like the Hulk and all that back then in my universe. And I had to work my ass off. I had to promote. I didn't get nothing for free, and I put in the work myself, and every single time, every single day. I went hard every single day. I worked, came home, went straight to this every day, and this is fun to me. This is why I do it. This is why I do that, because I have fun. This is release for me, and some people don't realize that situation. Back then, especially. Now it's getting, we're a smaller group now than in my universe, we're a smaller group than we used to be, because we got disbanded, basically. And everybody went their own direction. Y'all was over there in y'all's little hole over there in the corner. We was everywhere. We were scattered. And the difference between then and now, we was more together then. We might have been chaotic and everything else, but we was together. And y'all remain intact. This is why I came in the middle and I would look to the right and I looked to the left, and I got tired of it. I got tired of it, and I was like, I told one of my friends, I was like, this has to end. I was like, somebody has to do something to try to, work together, because you got this one side over here and you got this other side right here. Nobody's trying to work together. They just want to do their own thing. I understand, they want to stay in the comfort zone, but what's the worst that can happen if you take a risk? Somebody argue with somebody and then you can end it, and that problem solved. But you will never know unless you try to fix things. I feel like we can do more together than we can apart. And that's my opinion, because I'm talking to you right now. That wouldn't normally happen if that was the situation. You would go to the war show or whatever. But you're here because you was willing to do an interview with me, and I appreciate it very much. But what are your opinions on that? Well, you got any opinions on what I just said?
I mean, again, you're coming from a completely different atmosphere than I am, so I can't really comment. You've got a different perspective of where Carl was and where it is now, as opposed to me. I didn't walk in your shoes, so for me to comment on it would be disingenuous.
That's true. That's true. Very true. Okay, then. Well, out of respect, and I move on. But we're gonna lead into the next question. Call All Stars. You told me earlier that you go into your very first Call All Stars. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about Call All Stars, and what do you expect from it?
Well, I was actually supposed to be in last year's Call All Stars. I was supposed to be facing one of my best friends, the Alex Enterprise, but the details behind that were we were going to have a final deletion type match. The problem is where I come from. I come from the shittiest area of New Jersey possible. And when I say shitty, I don't mean like the hood's shitty. I'm talking about middle class shitty, where if your aspiration is to film something, especially a fight, expect to never find a place where there are cops. So just to give you a small example, there was an angle that I had shot for COH. I don't mean to delve off topic, but I feel like this would be a funny story for people. So there was an angle that my character Accuracy did with a character by the name of Kenyon Phoenix, where we're out in the streets and Kenyon's losing his mind because my guy keeps torturing him. So the owner's trying to tell him to relax, blah, 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 blah. I come up and I knock the owner out, and then Kenyon thinks that I'm just toying with him again, and Accuracy pulls out a knife. And you can't see it on the camera, but Kenyon thinks that it's all fake, so Accuracy knocks the camera off, stabs him in the stomach. So it's trying to allude to the fact that Accuracy just stabbed this guy in the stomach. Well, we actually filmed a quote-unquote stab, but you don't really see it, trying to give the illusion that there was a knife, blah, 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 and we actually had fake blood and everything. Now, we did a first take, and then we tried to do a second take, and as we were trying to do a second take, a cop showed up. A cop showed up and actually questioned what the hell we were doing. So we told them what we were doing, and they let us go, but it's like, now, no matter what you do, you're going to be caught. So you fast forward, going back to Call All Stars 8, where me and Alex are supposed to have like this elaborate fight, and we can't film it anywhere because no matter where we go, either people are going to be watching and they're going to insinuate that there's an actual fight going on, or B, there's going to be cops around and they're going to try and disturb it. And in the case of our thing, if we're in the middle of a fight, we don't want to have to stop halfway through because a cop just showed up, and then we got to freaking do the whole thing all over again. So we had to basically cancel that whole entire thing. And it was pretty annoying, but, it is what it is. So this year, Sean, I messaged, well, I kind of like alluded to Call All Stars 9, should Accuracy have a match there, because I've never wrestled on Call All Stars. Well, that's not true. That is not true. Actually, you know what? I take that back. Last year, theoretically, I did wrestle, but it was my Denox character from many years ago in the pre-show. And I really didn't care for it because they made me way too dominant for a character that's supposed to be a goofball. So this year, Sean came up to me and said that he wanted me to face AJ Hawks, but he had to get approval from Travis, the owner, see if he was cool with it. I guess he was cool with it because the next thing I know, I see a message up saying breaking news: AJ Hawks versus M Accuracy scheduled for All Stars 9. And I'm like, okay, cool. I talked to Ryan Paul Jones because he's the owner of the outfit that has AJ Hawks, CCW, El Dorado Championship Wrestling, and wanted to get to know this guy a little bit more. And I sort of have an idea of who he's supposed to be. And now it makes more sense knowing that we're going to fight each other. So as of right now, as far as Call All Stars, what do I think of it? I think it's actually a really neat idea. It's like you're taking all of the Call characters from everywhere, Call promotions, and lumping them into one. It's kind of like it's the best way to describe it. I don't want to say Wrestle Kingdom because that's more of a New Japan thing. But like it's like a big mega event where every car company is coming together to kind of like have these dream matches you wouldn't normally see. And it's a pretty neat idea, and I'm glad that somebody has taken the time out of their schedule to try and watch all these promotions and decide to have this event.
Yeah, because in my time there was a few other people that tried this kind of event, and it lasted a few, but they could never keep going with it. And this is the longest. Call Stars is the longest by far, but 9 coming up. But this is a question going into this. About Call All Stars. Hang on. We'll go to Call All Stars in just a second. I get this question just popped in my head about promos. What are the differences between voice promos and being on camera promos? Which one do you prefer?
I actually prefer video promos for one particular reason. Now, it's much easier to convey emotion via your voice and have the owner try and splice it up with the game itself, whether it be the SmackDown versus Raw games, the WWE 2K games, the Day of Reckoning games, whatever the hell he's using to record the show. But it takes an extra special talent to be able to be confident enough for the camera to turn on and flip the switch in character. And for me, at least, mentally for me, I have to know what I'm doing months prior to shooting that video promo because I want to be prepared. I want it to come off tight. And in my Accuracy character, I got to take at least a good 10, 15 minutes mentally to try and get into it because out of every character I've ever done, that's probably my most erratic and my most intense character that I've ever done.
Yeah, the difference between that and me is I don't know why I'm more comfortable. I'm more into this regular voice promos because I feel I can. When I'm on camera, especially when I'm on camera, I can directly do it. But anything about that, it's about how I can deliver my message, and I feel more comfortable doing it by voice because to me it's faster. You ain't got to make sure your camera's right and everything else. If you ain't got a camera that works really good, then voice promos will work better. And second, I've done voice promos for about since 2008. Yeah, about a little early 2008, I started doing voice promos. I just started slowly doing it, and to me, just video promos, I'm having trouble trying to sell because it's such a new thing to me. I watched COH when I first started watching COH. I noticed they was using that, and they're sitting there like, this is going. I just can't because when you look at the video promos, you see a real person, and then the video game looks like completely different. It'd be different if the call looked close enough to the person But to me, it wouldn't look right because I put smoke. I always use Smokey in a video, in a call form, and then change it up and have me, my face and everything else. It's sexy and everything, but damn, they don't. People don't need that right now. But yeah, there you go again. But yeah, yeah, I'm gonna move on from that. But yeah, that's my opinion. I'm more suitable for voice promos. That's just what I do, and people can do what they want. It's cool that people like doing video promos. They like being creative, and that's good. We need more creative people, and I like being creative just in a different way. But I respect your way too. Just to let you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm moving on. My next question is about car. I'm going back to car stars. I asked you about what's your opinion on it. What kind of matches? I was discussing with Wash the last episode and Tarvis the previous episode before about ideas to help grow car stars because they stuck in a certain amount of views, and I feel like they should. That Call All Stars is a big time event. It should be treated that way, I feel. And every single match on that card should be built up. I'm talking about all people involved should promo. All people should get hype about it. It should be meaningful instead of people just going out there like they're not caring about it. They're just another match to them. But that's not what it should be. It's called All Stars. It's the best of the best. It's like an annual best of the best. Why don't people treat it like that? Build up the matches. Build it up like it should be built up. Like I found out Smokey versus Ben Hitman, a 10-time champion versus Smokey, who's been in Call for over 10 years, who has won countless world titles, is now currently the DCA world champion, and is on his way to be the best of the best, and that's what his mission is. But he got to get past Ben Hitman, and that's exciting. And it only can get more exciting if both the people involved make it hype, make an impact, make it promos, and get the fans involved, because once you get the fans involved, it grows. You get more fans, and you get more. It is just the way it is. And if you don't do that, where's the fans at? They don't care. They ain't intrigued by nothing. It's just there. And that's my opinion about it. Call Stars they have so much potential that it can grow to a big time event, a big time. And all they got to do is these little things. Do you have any opinion on that?
Well, at the end of the day, it really all depends how you look at it. Do you look at this as a hobby where you're not necessarily in the mindset of, okay, I'm going to make sure that the most people see this because at the end of the day, I'm just here to have fun. It really all depends on the person who runs the whole entire thing. But in my case, if you're asking me, yes, with my match against AJ Hawks, I'm going to try the best of my abilities to try and build up the match as good as possible. But keep in mind, even if, let's just say, myself and AJ Hawks, let's just say we do such a great job at promoting this match of ours, that's just our match. What about every single other match? That doesn't necessarily mean because we hyped our match that the whole entire card is going to be cared about, especially since the main event has nothing to do with myself and AJ Hawks. And also keep in mind, I don't know if this is how they're going to run it similarly to the last couple that I had seen, where it's going to be more than just a one night thing. It's going to be a multiple night. Now, when they announced our match, I don't know if that's going to be a main event of like a night one, a night two. I know full well that the big match is the big fatal 4-way. It's Ben Hopkins, AJ Young, I believe Austin Uhas, and Goonie. Am I correct? I'm gonna get so much flack for that. Okay.
That's true. Yeah. True.
So that's the main match that people are looking forward to, and that's the one obviously that needs to have the most build, because at the end of the day, that's your selling point. Your selling point's usually the main event. It's like WrestleMania 3. The selling point was oh no, I have to take it back. I'm going to take it back. It was not Austin Huas. It is Brandon Wolf. I apologize for getting that wrong. Right. But anyways, as I was saying, WrestleMania 3, the selling point was Hogan and Andre. And while, yes, you need a stacked card, in the end, the most important match is going to be your main event. And so far, the most important match is that Fatal 4-Way that I just mentioned. Goonie, Brandon Wolf, AJ Young, and Ben Hopkins.
I just think everybody should have, and it is fun, going out there and having fun and doing your best. That to me is fun. That's just the way I've been doing things. Everybody's different. You're right. Everybody is different, and I'm stuck in my ways. But they got to see from my everybody else's perspective. We all should blend together and make it into a good event, because it'd be worth it in the end if we can all. Because if everybody pull their own weight and have fun and with the other person they promoting against, and be creative, because you can work together in a promo even if you're facing somebody, because I do it all the time. Me and Great D freaking had a freaking intense ass damn promo stand on a few weeks ago. Freaking damn, we felt like we were pissed off really, but in a way that we kept it in character. We was pissed off, but we kept in character. We both knew that it's all in character. It wasn't serious. Let's go with it. We went through it, shook hands. I'm not basically shook hands, but we was on the call. We basically said, "Good promo. That was crazy. We got to do that again sometime." and we're gonna come back. We're good friends now. Me and Great D never met before that. And this is a good thing about Carl, you meet cool people just by taking a chance and doing promos with somebody you never met, or inviting them onto the show, getting to know them, because people don't know me on that side of the universe that much. So it's cool to get to meet like guys like you, guys like Matt Walsh, guys like Jarvis, guys like everybody around. Everybody I'm going to interview, and I'm going to get to everybody there that wants to come on my show. I interview them, because that's just how I am, and I promote and everything. So I appreciate you answering that question. I respect your opinion, and that was just my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not going to judge anybody for having their own perspective of what they should be doing, but
it's all about different opinions and working it out, because everybody's going to have opinions no matter what, and that's why most arguments happen, is because of their opinion. And I feel like everybody should be entitled to be able to work out, because people have, as I said, I'm repeat myself, but I do that all the time. Don't worry about it. But okay, now moving on. Let's move it on. Next question. Okay, my next question is, out of every league you've been in, what is the most shocking moment in your career?
The only one that really comes to mind that involves me per se was in the lead up to Outbreak 3. Travis had just introduced a new world championship called the Global Championship, because he had just split the rosters from Slam to Battleground. And I was in the tournament, and there was a match between me and Nate, which was heavily promoted. And at the time, it was said to me, or I shouldn't say it was said to me, I was under the impression that I was going to win the match. And like I was talking about that Kenyon angle earlier, Kenyon was going to make it to the finals. I would do the stabbing angle that we just talked about. I'd win the title by forfeit and go on to feud with Nate and Goonie for the time being, since they were still a unit. And then eventually Kenyon would come back and beat me for the belt. What actually happened was that Nate beat me. And I think part of why that happened was because there was a lack of communication between me and Travis. That's one of Travis's weak points, is just the lack of communication sometimes that he gives, or sometimes you'll present something to him and he'll just completely forget about it, or just completely, like my return just recently, he used a completely different video than what I sent him. But all in all, that's a blessing in disguise, because now I can just use that video for Ultimate Glory. So, but I would say that kind of left me a little bit surprised, and I talked to him about it, and we worked it out. So
I was facing Casey Gordon, and there's this whole thing going on with Atlas Jones that he didn't want me to win the championship, so he'd do anything, but he didn't like Casey Gordon. But he ended up, I ended up winning the match, and then the manager, Casey Jones, ended up finding a way to get his rematch right then and there. And Casey ended up winning by, he didn't even pin him by himself. Alex Jones hit his finisher on Smokey and put Casey's arm over his and counted, and Casey retained. And that was the most shocking moment right there to me, because Smokey only held the title for like 2 minutes. You got any particular question that you want to ask me? Because I do that every single episode. I give the guest full power to ask me anything they want about me, my call, anything. So
I don't really have much question, because, like I said, we only just started talking earlier today. But
yeah.
I guess my question to you would be, why do you feel that CAW now feels more segregated than before?
Simply because, everybody before might not get, everybody before, and where I was at, we got along best when we was at each other's throats. For some reason, we got each other, but mostly when you're apart and you all separated and everybody's in a situation, and the other people over here, you ain't got no promotion. You ain't got no extra promotion. Well, you can't, because the promotion's over here, and you over here, and you can't get to the right promotion because they got to switch sides, and everybody over here. And I feel they segregated us because it ain't nobody's fault. Everybody just disagreed. That was just the problem. Everybody just disagreed and didn't want to work with each other. And that's, to me, that makes CAW not grow, because everybody's scared. And the people who not involved in CAW see that, and it's like, I don't want to be involved with that because that's too much drama. People don't want to get involved because of that. And before, even when all that crap was going on, when everybody was together, people was growing. The CAW was growing. It was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And whenever all that stuff happened and we all got separated, it got smaller and smaller and smaller, and people left because of it. But that's the reason why I've been trying for the past. I think me and D-Wall and them have been trying for the last 3 years, but we've been failing on ideas. But until recently, I started when I got this idea about his storyline about Smokey. Really, his temper gets him in a situation where he decides he wants to prove he's the best. So he's going to go out and go into all these leagues and find the best people and take over the spot that he feels that was taken from him whenever he took it out. That's how, and then I started, thinking I can use the smoke room. The smoke room, I can talk with them, and this no pressure, no nothing. Just do it like I always done it. Be cool. Just ask the right questions if I can, and just have a good chat. And I did, and I think we're doing just fine. Although my connection is a piece of shit, but I can't help that because I'm in a hotel. That ain't too bad. can't be too pressure talking to me. Um, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about it? I know you said you you ain't had that situation, but what would you think if you was in that situation? I know you're not, but per se, if you was in that situation, what would you think? Because
The only thing I would say, I mean, if people are, it's hard for me to comment because again, it's kind of like an opposite reaction. I went from one group of people, and then I went to another company and met a whole different bunch of people. And
yeah,
you grow
everybody's
up,
different.
you grow up, you eventually try your best not to get involved in certain situations like the ones you're talking about.
Yeah.
And the way
See, I mean, I'm in a situation too. I used to be pissed a lot, pissed off a lot. But yeah, go on. I'm sorry. I spoke into your conversation.
I'm just saying, like, I'm not totally innocent in that particular situation. I've had disagreements with people, but at this point, I think the best way to deal with disagreements with anybody is just one on one. And if it
Yeah.
ends up on a bad note, then it ends up on a bad note. But try your best to not let it spill over in public because then that's when it becomes unnecessary. So if it ends in a situation where you're never going to patch things up, that's fine. Sometimes people just have to go their separate ways and just not bother each other. But if you just make sure it doesn't spill out into the public, because again, nobody wants to be in a situation where their dirty laundry is aired out for people to see, and then just more people just get too rambunctious over a certain thing that just went out in public. So, it's my take.
Yeah. Okay. Now I appreciate your answer to that to your fullest ability. I know you only can give me so much information. I appreciate you just giving me that. But yeah, I'm gonna ask you a couple more questions. About probably make one more question, and then we can probably end it right now. What are your goals? You got any goals that by like say next year that you want to accomplish and before the year ends?
In call,
Yeah.
well, obviously the Accuracy character is taking a better turn, so I just hope that this new turn actually succeeds. I hope this is more to Andrew because he runs ECF. Once he starts uploading more shows, I hope the character that I do over there, Vinny Spirelli, gets better and better because that's one character that I really love to do. It's a fun character that I like to portray. I guess same thing with Austin running RCW. He's kind of like he runs on an Undertaker schedule, so it's kind of weird his schedule and how he uploads shows. And PCW, not just because I'm on it, I also commentate the show.
Yeah.
I hope my character Mo Houston graduates to the AWF roster, and I can bring that. I heard an echo. Sorry. I hope that character actually succeeds far better than what I saw it when I first started the character. So I guess just basically bettering my characters to a point where people either want to see them get their ass kicked or want to see them win their respective matches.
Oh yeah, that's awesome because you were looking to improve yourself. Still, this whole plan, this whole storyline is accomplished. The whole plan, this whole storyline that lasted almost 2.5, 3 years, it's finished. If I can finish this and accomplish everything that we planned, I would shit my pants because it's been 3 years. You have no idea how long that is when you're doing a storyline. But if I can accomplish that, then that can be one of my top career accomplishments because this is going to be a big deal to me. Because I'm all about community and everything else. I think bettering the call community so it can grow is for the next group of people whenever we gone, it's good. It's a good thing. It keeps people out of trouble. Call keeps people out of trouble, and we have fun. So this is good for everybody, in my opinion. And I want this to go through. I want everybody to work together, and I do whatever I can to get it that way. And regardless, that's all I can do. Anything else you want to say before we get off?
Just check out some of the promotions that I have invested in, not just for me, but just for the promotions themselves. Obviously, there's COA's Call of Honor, the one that I've been at since day one. ECF, ran by Andrew, who you may know better as Fisk. Revolutionary Call Wrestling, ran by Austin. Oh, ECF, I think, stands for Extreme Call Federation. And PCW, Progress Championship Wrestling, which is basically the NXT of AWF. Check those promotions out if you haven't. And yeah, that's pretty much all I really got to say.
Yeah, and I appreciate you coming on the show, because I appreciate you reaching out to me and saying you want to come, because I put it on Facebook and everything. And I hope some people would take my advice and just ask me, because I ain't got nobody to ask me from there yet. But I thank you for coming on. You can come on anytime you want to. If you just want to come on and talk, or come into the Skype and chat with all of us on DCA and everything else where I hang out, you're more than welcome to. And you can bring your group of friends or whatever, and we can have a chat out or whatever. Or big promo guest brother. I want you. This is what my thing is. I want you to go out there, go to your friends and tell them I'm looking for them to come on to the smoke room to get a hold of me so we can do this.
Sure thing.
All right, but yeah, this is Smokey. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And come on now. Let's go. See you later. Peace out. I don't know why I did that. Peace.